Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens.
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know how this machine worked.
It seems to run on some form of electricity.
And it was wrong. It was a bad call, Ripley. It was a bad call.
Bad call.
Some are good for fighting, others for dying.
It's just two movies.
Welcome back to another episode of It's Just Two Movies. My name is Daniel King, Birdman in the house. What's up,
Hey,
brother?
what's going on?
How are you?
We're doing.
We're
back, baby.
We're doing. Been a weird week.
It's been a week.
Weird shit in the news. You know, we record these a couple of weeks in advance, and we're not going to talk about it because we're about a little escapism here on the show.
That's right.
But
We're your escape from the weird world.
from all the other weird stuff. Dolphin dive high five. All right. If this is your first episode of the show, what we do is we watch two movies. One of them's good. One of them's, I don't know, probably not good. Or it's like so bad it's good. That's the dream. We want to watch the best movie and then the best bad movie that has something in common with it.
Right.
Even if it's very, very slim
Very
amount
loose.
of stuff that's in common. Yeah, super loose, loosey-goosey.
Right.
Go ahead and jump in the pond if you're going to be a loosey-goose. So who's pick? Well, this was my pick,
This was
right?
your pick,
This was
yep.
my pick.
Yep.
And I was insanely busy this week. And I knew you were coming for the show. I'd had like 2 weeks to prepare for you to be on the show and never had time to sit down and look at my list of movies.
Well, it was kind of up in the air if I can make it, because I think I didn't let you know until like Sunday or Monday.
Yeah, I think it was like
So-
Monday evening or whatever.
Yeah.
But so I did a really shitty job of having something prepared. But the only thing I could think about was a movie I watched like 2 years ago on Hulu called Most Likely to Murder.
Yeah.
So I told you, I was like, well, I guess let's watch this. I remember it being funny.
Yep.
I remember just liking it. I don't remember really what it's about. I don't really remember who's in it. But I remember liking it fondly. So you brought to my attention that there's a different movie also called Most Likely to Murder. We're talking about the one from 2018.
That's the one we're doing. The
Yeah.
one from 2018. So what happened is, because I use IMDb, I looked it up. I looked up Most Likely to Murder, and the first one that comes up is a film from 2019. And I watched the trailer, and you're like, this movie's pretty, I remember it being pretty funny.
Yeah.
So I watched the trailer for this movie, and it's not funny at all,
Yeah.
because it's a different movie.
Right. Right.
And it's like a teen thriller, like a high school teen thriller.
Ooh, you know, my favorite genre of film.
Exactly. And I was
because I relate to the main character because I am also a teen, you know.
So if you're listening to this,
We took these beers out of my dad's fridge. We're going to
he's
get
gonna
in
be
so much
so
trouble.
pissed, dude.
Yeah, right.
If you're listening to this, just for shits and giggles, go watch the trailer for Most Likely to Murder from 2019. We're not talking about that film today, but just watch it.
Yeah.
It looks ridiculous.
Just imagine I was like, hey, check out this trailer for a funny comedy. And then imagine it's that.
I never understand that either, why someone makes a movie and goes, you know what?
I'm just going to name this the same as another movie. And then when they're like, somebody's like, hey, that's Greg. There's already a movie called that. And he's like, fuck it.
And that's a very specific name, too. It's not just like The Face coming this, you know what I mean? Like,
right, yeah.
a simple name. It's
Jim the Nose.
Most Likely to Murder. You couldn't look that up and be like, oh, there's a pretty popular, well, I don't know.
How about Most Likely to Kill?
There you go.
Most likely to commit murder. Most likely to be a murderer.
Anyways, doesn't matter. Let's get into this.
Most Likely to Murder, the one we're talking about, 2018 comedy film. I would have said like mystery comedy maybe, or
yeah, I would agree with that.
Something like
it just
that.
says comedy, but yeah, you could throw something else on there.
got a 5.1 out of 10 on IMDb, 62% on Rotten Tomatoes, 3.2 out of 5 on Vudu. 40% of Google users like this movie. I wonder what they didn't like about it. It's release date May 1st, directed by Dan Greger, distributed by Lionsgate Films. Nobody cares about that. So this is a movie with a lot of mediocre reviews.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty funny. Is it a home run? No.
No.
Is it the best movie you've ever seen? Absolutely not. That's not what we're going for. We're going for something that's delightful and short.
Delightful, short, breezy, just easy to watch because we're doing the shorter episodes.
Yeah.
We're not talking about your Leonardo DiCaprio films. We're not doing deep dives. And,
No.
So I think you knocked it out of the park on this for this one again. This did remind me a little bit of the last one.
Save yourselves. Yeah. There was it fucking wigged me out when I went to go watch this, and I pulled up Hulu because this was on Hulu for fucking years, and it just wasn't on there anymore. So
I had to rent this.
Yeah, I had to rent it on Prime too, which I was like,
weird.
oh man, what the fuck? But this stars Adam Pally, Doug Mand, John Paul Reynolds, Vincent Carthizer,
I think.
Vincent Carthizer, whatever, you know. Vinny Boy,
who I really like. He was in Mad Men.
Heather McComb and Ethan Phillips. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
That guy's in Mad Men. What's he playing? Mad Men? A sleazy madman?
Yeah.
Or is he a fucking nerd?
A little bit of both.
Okay.
He's just kind of a weasel in Mad Men.
Well, he's a fucking nerd in this. But John Paul Reynolds from Save Yourselves, which we just watched.
Yeah.
He plays like, what is he, the sheriff or just like a cop?
He's a
general cop?
The detective, I guess. He's not a cop. He's like the next lineup, I guess, whatever.
He's definitely not a co-op.
He's not a co-op. He's a detective.
For people that haven't seen this, which I would say is probably the overwhelming majority of people.
Probably.
What would you say this is about?
This is your classic weird, kind of creepy guy. Isn't so weird and creepy after all. In the end.
Yeah.
Basically, I'll break it down real quick. You've got your main character. We'll break it down real quick, and then we'll just talk about what we liked. Or what if there is anything that we didn't like.
Yeah.
So Adam Pally, he used to be the shit in high school. He used to be the man.
He was like a god.
He's awesome. Not really a jock. I don't think he was really a jock. He was just a cool guy.
He was just a cool guy, yeah.
He lives in Vegas. He's not doing so well. He goes back home. His parents are moving. They live in New York. He goes back home to get all of his shit. He tries hooking up with his ex. She's dating this new guy. New guy he went to high school with. They both went to high school with.
Yeah.
The new guy he grew up with him, lives across the street.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks he's a little weird. He's a little creepy. And he kind of does come off that way.
Yeah.
But in the end, it turns out he's not. He's kind of a sweet guy that was just trying to help his mom in a shitty situation.
Yeah.
That's
pretty much it.
That's most of it.
Yeah. It's pretty endearing. So Adam Pally's character, Billy, he witnesses something that raises suspicions that the other guy, the character's name is Lowell, but the actor we're talking about again,
Vincent Carthizer
from Mad Men.
Yes.
Among other things.
We'll just call him Lowell because it's easier.
Yeah, we'll go with Lowell. So Adam Pally spots Lowell, and he's like, I fucking think Lowell did a murder. But he's like blackout drunk. It's like 2:45 in the morning or whatever. Anyway, the rest of the movie, Adam Pally's character is trying to collect evidence that will, make sure that it's enough to convict Lowell of killing his mother.
Right.
I kind of don't want to spoil the very end part about like what happened there, because I feel like this is worth a watch. It's breezy. You probably haven't seen it.
Yeah.
And I don't think you'd watch it and be like, I can't believe I just wasted an hour and a half.
Right.
Like, it's just breezy, fun flick.
Yeah. It is a good time. I will say I kind of predicted what happened.
The stuff, yeah. It's not the best hook in the world.
It's not, but it doesn't have to be.
I think what makes this movie really fun is just Adam Pally's his like actualization and realization that he's just kind of a piece of shit.
He's a piece of shit.
Like, he's just a shitty guy.
He's a douchebag. Like,
yeah, he is a douchebag.
He's that guy that just didn't grow up that guy from high school, that just never grew up. You know what I mean, though? He's that
I
guy.
do. And I love the way that, like, every time something bad happens to him, he, like, has a MacGruber breakdown. And he's just like, no, I suck.
Yeah. But that's the thing, is he knows he sucks.
His jokes are good, too, though.
His jokes are good.
He doesn't make jokes, but, like, him having his, like, meltdowns and shit is fucking hilarious because of the stuff that he specifically says.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay, so I didn't expect it to be this funny, but it's pretty fucking funny.
It is pretty
There
funny.
are some lines that are like, they could have did better there.
You could tell some of the production values, like,
yeah, right.
You know, some of it's kind of so-so. They didn't have a ton of money to make this, but I think a lot of it turns out well. But the part that I'm impressed with is a lot of the writing and the characters for the most part. I mean, Adam Pally character is great. I really love Doug Mand in this.
Oh man, he's
with his fucking weird.
Awesome.
He's like, "What's that? You still wearing that fucking
like
merkin on your chin?"
The main character goes to his friend's house and he's like, "Hey, you still rocking the chin beard, huh?" He's like, "Yep, it's the only thing I know how to rock."
Yep, you got it. His sister's like, "You still wearing that fucking merkin on your chin?" For those of you out there that don't know, a merkin is a wig for your pubic area. Like if a roll calls for full blown bush, but you keep it, high and tight.
Right.
Yeah.
So I love. There's a bit in
He's
the beginning.
fucking unrecognizable without that chin beard, though.
He is. He looks so different.
Like the picture, I was like, this guy's not in the fucking movie. I was like, oh, that's Dwayne Dosher.
So he is. Doug Mand helped write this. The guy we're talking about.
Gotcha.
He helped write this.
Very funny guy.
Something I really like about this film is there are so many little things that are going on throughout the entire
little
film.
jokes, like
jokes,
like the sex tape. The sex tape.
There's a sex tape joke that's going on throughout the whole film.
Mm-hmm. Where's Dwayne? I don't know. He said something about looking for a VCR.
So we'll get into that a little bit more. There's the bit. This is mostly the first half of the film.
Yeah,
Billy's talking about his signature cologne.
Yeah.
It's just two colognes mixed together.
Right. He's like, didn't that motherfucker steal your signature scent? It's just two colognes. Take it easy.
Right.
Oh, man. Yeah, there is some funny shit in here.
So the detective in this, his wife and Billy used to hook up. Like, they hooked up.
They made a sex tape.
And they made a tape. So throughout this whole thing, his friend, Dwayne, is like, yeah, man, you never let me see that tape. You let everybody else in town.
I didn't see it.
But
he's like, you guys made it. He's like, we're just experimenting. It's not a thing. Don't even worry about it. He's like, God, you know how fucking hard I am right now? Like, he just really wants to watch his buddy fuck.
But it's just a VCR tape, so no one has.
Right. Is it just, he gets was it like later in the movie, he's got a fucking, a projector. He's like, think we could like maybe spool that bad boy out and cut it up and throw a couple stills up against the wall? Like, he just desperately cannot wait to see it.
Oh, man.
Oh.
It's so good. It's such a good running gag there.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just good writing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at the end of the movie when the cop finally finds the tape and he's like, damn it. Everybody inside. And Adam Pally's like, you don't have to do this. He's like, no, I have to watch it.
He makes all of them watch it.
Yeah, and they're watching it. He just flips out and starts smashing it after watching like 2 minutes of it. He's like, why does this have to be real?
It's just like a breakfast sex tape.
Right.
Like they're experimenting with different breakfasts.
With breakfast stuff. And he's like, oh, what? Yeah, maybe I need a little cream cheese or whatever the thing was.
But Dwayne still doesn't get to see it.
No.
In the end.
Oh, it's got a sweet fucking Nintendo backpack. That
yeah.
Game Boy backpack he's got at the end. I was like, that's pretty cool.
So, let's see. What else we got here?
Is camp a thing in comedy, too?
Camp?
Yeah, I know you can be like camp in horror, like campy films, you know what I mean? Like, they have these classic tropes or whatever. But if camp is a thing in comedy, I think if you can have modern camp, if that's a thing, I think that's really heavily applied in this.
Yeah.
Like, it just seems campy, but it's funny. So It's easy to give it a pass for that.
Yeah. There are the usual tropes, I think, in this throughout the film. But it has heart, I think.
Yeah. I like his pickup line when he goes back. He's going back home from Vegas.
Yep.
And he's going to the bar. He meets up with his buddy. They're going out to the bar, and he's like, "Yeah, let's fucking rage." And he sees the girl that he made the sex tape with, and she's dating, the sheriff or the cop or whatever. And he's like, "Oh, you're glowing." She's like, "I look like a cow." He's like, "You're like a sexy cow on the label of those snack cheeses I can't stop eating." Just like,
is that what he says?
Something. That's what I wrote down. Yeah, it's something like that. Oh,
I guess I missed that part. Yeah,
Right.
there are a lot of good one-liners in this. I like whenever... So, Billy, he's back at home at one point, and he's trying to remember the night before. When he sees Lowell doing weird shit, he was wasted. Billy was, and he's trying to remember what was happening.
He's smoking a joint
Yeah.
that's been in his room for fucking years,
like 10 years or whatever.
He's like, oh, that is old.
And he's just eating like, what was he eating? Like salami,
pepperonis, like big pepper. He's just cramming them into his mouth.
He crams like 10 of them into his mouth.
God,
Like he's just shit faced.
He's just cracking me up.
But the next morning, he's like remembering everything, and he sees this clock, and he broke it at whatever time he saw Lowell doing the weird shit.
Yeah.
The way.
So he knows about what time it happened.
And he's like, oh, he was awake at a quarter until milkshakes.
Quarter till milkshakes.
The clock has like different little whatever on. Like it's got a milkshake. It's got
just a bunch of dumb shit.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. So his Adam Pally's like love interest is like dating Lowell at this time, and they work together as well. It's his ex, right?
Yeah, it's his ex.
It's his ex, and it's the sort of thing where it's like, he thought he was off to bigger and better things, and it turns out he just is kind of a piece of shit and doesn't have any skills.
Right.
So he just did shit work in Las Vegas where he doesn't know anybody for several years.
And he's trying to pretend like he's a somebody.
Yeah.
In Vegas.
Yeah,
he's like,
exactly.
oh yeah, I'm working on this thing, talking about all these stars.
Yeah.
He's like, a nobody. He
like,
cleans bathrooms.
I'm working on something with Steve Aoki or whatever.
Yeah.
So his love interest, played by Rachel Bloom, and she is putting off some Jodie Foster vibes circa 1994.
Yeah, I can see that.
Or so I've heard.
I can see that.
Yeah. She's got kind of a sassy, fiery Jodie Foster thing going on. She's cussing him in there. They have a lot of good back and forth dialogue and jokes between the two of them.
Right.
Thought that was good stuff.
I like whenever Billy and Dwayne decide to do an investigation and they have the montage.
Dude, there's a bunch of good montages in this. Like a bunch of really funny montages in this.
Yeah, that investigation montage is good. When they're in Dwayne's basement, he lives with his mom, and he's like, "Hey, Mom, could you bring us down some snacks?" She brings down coffee and cheese, and he's like, "Ah, coffee and cheese, the best snacks." Right. And then eventually, like 20 minutes later, his sister comes down, and he's like, "You ready to go to She's like, "You ready to go to Grandma's?" He's like, "No, I'm not ready. I had way too much cheese and coffee, and I'm about to shit my fucking pants."
Dude, he's killing it, man. So another little side note, now that Adam Pally's been gone for all these years and he comes back, he goes over to his buddy's house and his sister answers the door. And now she's, in her 20s maybe? Yeah, she's like
early 20s.
Maybe early 20s or whatever. So she's grown into a woman. Well, he's like, oh my God, Tammy, wow, you look great. That kind of shit. So they are, as the viewer, you are perceiving them actively flirting with each other.
It feels very flirty.
It feels super flirty.
Both ways.
Yeah. And then later in the movie, he's down in the dumps and he goes and he sees her and she's like, oh, I used to have such a crush on you in high school. Like you were like a god.
Yeah.
Whatever. And he like leans in to kiss her and she's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? She's like, you know me since I was in diapers.
Yeah.
Gross. And he just starts having another meltdown. He's like, I'm gross.
I'm a bad man.
I'm a piece of shit.
And his friend asks him, he's like, the one thing he asks him, he's like, please don't fuck my sister.
Yeah.
Because he can see that, like, they're kind of flirting. It feels like flirting, but maybe he's just reading it wrong. Either way.
What do I got here?
He kind of... that part kind of got to me a little bit. Because you could tell he really upset his friend, you know what I mean? He really upset Dwayne. Like, because he tried to fucking make a move on his sister.
Yeah.
And then you can see it.
She storms off and he's feeling fucking terrible.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm a fucking such a piece of shit. And then Dosher's mom comes around the corner and she's like,
oh my God, dude.
She's like, oh, hey there, Billy. I just was getting batteries for my sleep apnea machine. She's like, why are you so sad? She's like, don't be sad. You're a good boy. He's like, you really think I'm a good boy? She's like, yeah, and they start making out. She's got her
titty pops out.
Her tit falls out of her robe or whatever.
Oh my God, dude.
Oh my God. And then, his buddy gets home and she's like, oh, tell your mother I said hi.
Yeah, it's one of those, what are we
part
doing?
Of it's the sound design for it, because they get this like swelling, romantic, like heavy petting music. And it's like when he's getting ready to kiss the sister, and then she's like, wow, what the, record scratch or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, he gets all down on himself, and then he starts making out with the mom, and it just picks right back up where it left off.
But and he goes upstairs, he's about to leave. Dwayne comes home, and Dwayne's sister's like, Billy tried to make out with me. He's a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I was talking about.
She's like, he's a gross pervert.
Yeah. Dwayne is just like crushed in that moment. Because like, that's the one thing you're supposed to be his best friend. Like, that's the one thing he asks you.
It's the only thing. The only thing. He didn't ask him for nothing. He'll do anything for him.
Yeah.
He only asks one thing.
Don't fuck my sister.
Don't fuck my sister. But he actively tries to fuck his sister.
God, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, he is a huge piece of shit.
Oh, man. I like how, I don't know, just like some of the, like I was going back to the writing, some of it's pretty clever, I think, how some of the things go down. Just with Lowell and everything, and like
the running gags and the stuff that keeps going on or whatever, and then plus the like murder mystery side of it.
That's what I was getting ready. Yeah,
yeah. The actual like Sherlock kind of cat and mouse detective game that he's running.
Because Lowell he gets invited to Billy's house at one point.
Right.
Billy's mom invites him over for Thanksgiving dinner.
Right.
And before, Billy finds a syringe that Lowell, he saw Lowell throw in the trash or whatever.
It's clearly a turkey baster.
Clearly.
Like, clearly. I think they just made it... Because they even later, they're like, was it in an orange bag or whatever?
Yellow
it's a biohazard or whatever because he's diabetic.
Yeah. That is not a diabetic
syringe. That's not a diabetic syringe. That's a fucking meat injector. I know that because I have 2 of them.
Yeah.
For injecting meat.
That was the one big goof that I caught on.
I go to my kid and be like, hey, does that look like a diabetic syringe like, that diabetic people use? And she would go, no,
that's a turkey
What
baster.
does a diabetic syringe look like, though?
Right.
She would just clearly know that's not what it is. So, yeah, that kind of dinged some points for me big time.
That bothered me a little bit.
I will say, like, when I started rewatching this, because I hadn't seen it in a couple of years, when they go to the bar and he just, like, starts getting fucking wasted, and then he gets back to his house and he's, like, smoking weed and he's, like, still drinking or whatever, and he's just fucking... That, like, whole montage of him getting hammered, I was like, this is pretty fun.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Even the way it's, like, shot and put together and stuff, I was like, I'm kind of digging this.
Yeah. But going back to whenever Lowell went over to their house.
Yeah.
Like, Billy's got the syringe. He's like, oh, shit, I got to hide this. For some reason, he hides it in the bathroom in just...
under the first
towels. Yeah.
If you went in there and grabbed a towel, you'd be like, oh, fuck, syringe.
And Lowell knows that he was digging through his trash. He found a piece of Billy's pants on his fence.
Yeah.
So he takes the syringe back. Billy's not very good at this.
No, he's terrible at it.
But I think that's a little bit of the point.
Right. He's so bad at it, in fact, by the end of the movie, you find out that Lowell's actually done nothing wrong. If anything, it was actually really sweet and altruistic of him. I'm not going to go into that in case you do actually happen to watch the movie. It is the one hook that the movie has.
We won't spoil the ending this time.
No, normally I'm all for spoiling stuff because I think there's enough to it where you can even spoil it and still go watch it and it's fine. This, if I spoiled it, it might actually detract people from watching it.
Well, that and I think you brought up earlier, probably not a lot of... If you're listening to this, you probably haven't watched this film.
You probably haven't,
It probably flew under the radar for a lot of people.
I'm sure that I could text every single guest that's ever been on this show and be like, have you seen this movie? And they would all say no.
Right.
Doug might.
Doug maybe.
Doug maybe. Yeah, this might have been at a film festival or something he went to. He's like, oh, I saw the movie fucking 12 years ago, nerd.
I just remembered another running gag in this. The detective played by... what's his name? John...
That's a good question. John Paul Reynolds. John Reynolds,
who's also in Save Yourselves.
Oh,
awesome
dude,
actor.
The stuff with him and his wife is
so the
is
running
very
gag
funny.
with him and his wife. So she's pregnant, and throughout this, I guess the smell of pears. Is it pears?
Yeah, pears is like fucking her up or whatever.
Makes her sick. But he they're having Thanksgiving dinner, but he has to eat it in his car because she's smelling something that's making her
making her sick.
That running gag is awesome.
It's a running gag that's also... It's pretty true, man.
Yeah,
it's pretty true because when
from what I understand, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, when we were pregnant with my daughter, it'd be some pretty wild stuff that Alicia would be like, "You have to take that in the other room, or I'm gonna fucking throw up." Yeah, and I'd be like, "Really? This? Red grapes?" Or whatever it was. It was always weird shit. I'd be like, You can even smell this like a single, like a one red grape. Like, you can't smell. Does a red grape even have a scent until you bite into it? She'd be like, oh, you wafting that grape around the room.
Really? This toenail?
Right. Oh, you're breathing on it right at me. Whatever. Just weird shit. That pregnancy stuff puts your fucking sniffer in overdrive. Oh man. Good stuff there. What was there? There was one thing I really wanted to talk about. Oh, no, with him and his wife, and she's like, he's getting ready to eat his lunch outside, and she's like, why would you buy that shampoo? And he's like, well, I don't know. And she's like, it has a pear on the bottle. He's like, I thought it was the mascot. And she's like, you thought it was the mascot? How fucking stupid are you? And he's like, what, a Dracula can sell cereal, but a pear can't sell shampoo? That's good. Like, that's a good joke. That's really funny.
It took me like 30 minutes to realize that was John Reynolds. Because he looks a little different.
He's a little thinner. Plus, he's a little thinner. He's got a different facial hair situation going on.
Yeah, the facial hair is different. But, man, I really like him. I want to see him in...
He's eating his salad. He's like, are there pears in here? She's like, is that a joke? And he just takes a pause. He's like, yes. Yes, it is a joke.
Yeah, so this was a good time, man. I think as far as... You want to rate this puppy?
Yeah. What are you thinking for
thumbs?
Yeah, what kind of thumbs? How about Razor Scooter thumbs?
He's riding a Razor scooter. I was thinking videotapes.
Oh yeah, videotapes, sex tapes. Yeah.
Yes.
If you had 10 thumbs instead of fingers.
Yeah. And
all of those thumbs were actually sex tapes.
What did he have on? Oh, it was Dirty Dancing.
Yeah.
He labeled it as Dirty Dancing.
Yeah. Classic. I like the part where he's depressed about how old he is or whatever. He's going,
oh, dude.
He's like holding a porno from the 70s and he's masturbating. And like crying at the same time. God, there's a lot of this shit it's very funny. It just, you have to get past the kind of wonky production value stuff about it. Yeah. So how many porno, Dirty Dancing, sex tape thumbs?
I think I'm going to go with a hard 7, which is the same thing I gave Save Yourselves, I believe.
That sounds pretty close.
Go with the hard 7 on this.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go 7.5.
Okay.
Like many comedies, for me, I think this has like replay value.
Oh yeah,
because of the amount of jokes that are in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a little funnier every time I've rewatched it. But I mean, I enjoyed it. It's not fucking, blowing my doors off. It's not anything new, crazy, and exciting. It's just entertainment. It's just a fun, breezy movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It's like if you're like, oh man, I want some chocolate, and somebody just gives you a Hershey's bar. Are you like, this is the best candy in the world?
No, but it's chocolate.
No, it's just chocolate. So it's still good though, know? Just plain ass fucking chocolate.
It's like pizza. Even if you're eating shitty pizza, it's still pretty good pizza.
It's like pizza and sex. Even when it's bad, it's good.
All right.
Yeah, that's that one. So we're going to go watch a movie that no doubt has lots of things in common with Most Likely to Murder. This is actually a listener recommendation. Let me see if I can pull this dude's profile real quick just because I want to give him credit. It happens all the time. This crazy love of mine. Here we go. Nick Horror Fan 88 on the gram recommended this movie, and I was checking it out, and I was like, we have to watch this. So I sent it to you, and you said, I will fucking riot if we don't watch this.
That's exactly what I said.
I don't want my house destroyed, so we are going to go watch New York Ninja.
Yeah.
A 2021?
Yeah, it's a 2021 release.
A 2021 release.
Made in
1984. Yeah, so I'm not positive what this is all about, but I can tell you there's very much, it's very 80s, and there's definitely a ninja. And evidently the audio for this production was originally lost. So it's just dubbed with new people. They're like, hey, come, we're making this thing.
Yeah. So we're going to find out.
Yeah, we're going to go check that out. We'll be back in a few minutes. Here's a word from our sponsors. I know typically this is where we would put the fake ad spot that we always make, and we're going to get right back to that just for like 1 or 2 episodes until the catalog's caught up. We've set up a couple of things in case you want to help the show. We are now on Buy Me a Coffee. So if you want to chuck in a couple of bucks, it just helps us to do the show. It's all going right back into marketing and for us to get free shit to give out. But that link is buymeacoffee.com/itsjusttwomovies. We also have included a Amazon affiliate link. Look, I'm not a huge fan of Bezos, but, if you're doing shopping on Amazon anyway, click our link first and we get a kickback. It just goes right back into the show. So those are some very easy ways that you can help out the podcast. I am kind of padding for time right now, though. We do have some stickers, some very cool stickers that we got in recently. I do have a limited supply, but if you would like some, shoot me an email it's just 2movies@gmail.com. Just shoot me your name and address, and if I've got any left, I'll go ahead and ship you some, because why the hell not? So normally we would have the fake ad spot here, but we want to keep the summer break episodes nice, short, and breezy. So I will paste one in, and anyway, you can get back to the show. Oh. Oh, fuck.
God damn it.
Not again. Late night.
Can't fart, but really want to.
Does your tum-tum be big owies?
We've got just the thing for you.
Some products like Gas X and Beano don't quite live up to their name. But there's another product that'll let you just flap that starfish.
Gas Plus.
Gas Plus. Gas Plus. Plus, but like it lets you fart. You can fart, makes you fart better. Gas Plus, an all-new scientifically engineered way to put extra farts in the tube that goes to your butt. We know it's called the intestine. We just want to make sure you know what it's called.
Gas Plus.
Gas Plus. Fucking Gas Plus. Take it and shit your fucking pants.
And now introducing all new Gas Plus Plus with extra dog farts.
Now available in ASMR.
That's a pretty good dog bark, though.
Gas Plus will fuck your shit up. Don't be tripping on Gas Plus, baby. Hi, I'm Dr. Dan. I can tell you right now, the Gas Plus, while it is safe in the correct dosage, we do want to make sure that you maintain the proper dosage, because Gas Plus will in fact fuck your shit up.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I was wondering. What level of fuck your shit up would Gas Plus be on?
Look, if I had to go, let's say hypothetically I had 10 thumbs that were covered in shit. 10. A perfect 10 shitty thumbs.
Wow. Thanks, doctor.
You're welcome. I'm a doctor. Respect me, everybody. Everybody respect me. I have a license to kill. Side effects include shitting your pants,
diarrhea,
blowing foam,
pussy farts,
fussy parts, pounding pudding,
just plain old shit in your britches,
dropping a load in your drawers,
bricks in your britches,
unleashing a tanker in your trousers,
pooping in the pool when no one's looking,
poo in your pantaloons,
making a mess of your beaver,
and general pant loads.
Gas Plus is not safe for all patients. Ask Dr. Dan if Gas Plus is safe for you.
Don't take Gas Plus if you've had
gas,
poopy britches,
shitty turd cutter,
nearsightedness,
itchy ear,
puffy rectum,
stubbed toe,
constipation,
thirst.
Contact your doctor to see if Fart Plus is right for you.
And by doctor,
Fart Plus,
we mean Dr. Dan.
Dr. Dan.
He's the only doctor that prescribes this medicine.
In the back of a Dodge Caravan.
We're back.
We're back. We just watched
New York Ninja
from 1984/2021. I gotta tell you, as a guy that watches a lot of weird fucking movies,
yeah,
this is among the weirdest. And it's got this great charm about it.
I wouldn't even say weird. I would just say bizarre.
Yeah.
It's just bizarre.
It's really weird. So, a little bit about New York Ninja here. It's a hour 33 runtime adventure film from 2021. That
Adventure?
That again was what it says, was originally filmed in 1984. Didn't get a release until 2021. It's got a 5.5 out of 10 on IMDb, 96% on Rotten Tomatoes, 3.4 out of 5 on Letterboxd. 69% of Google users like this movie. Directed
69.
Directed by John Liu, distributed by Vinegar Syndrome. I would read the cast, but I'm sure that half of this is probably wrong.
So it's got Don Wilson.
Holy shit, Michael Berryman as the plutonium killer. If you look at a picture of Michael Berryman, you'll be like, oh my god, it's that guy. He's in all kinds of shit.
Is he?
He's in all kinds of shit as a weird guy. But I wonder if I was like, where do I recognize this guy from? He looks so young and he's got hair and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird.
He was in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
John Liu, Ginger Lynn, Cynthia Rothrock, Michael Berryman, Linnea Quigley, Don Wilson, and Leon Isaac, just to name a few. What?
What is this about?
What?
What is this about?
Okay, all right. This is about so our common thread here is that they both geographically, hypothetically, take place in New York. It's as close as we're gonna get. Look, a listener recommended this to me, and I was like, "This looks like too much fun. We have to watch.
We gotta watch it."
So yeah, they both go down in New York.
Yeah,
the state, not the city.
Right. I mean, one of them in the city, one of them outside of the city,
in a different place. Yeah. So. Very, very well connected.
Yeah.
Actually, the cranes from the first movie, like the one guy, Lowell, he's in love with cranes. He's like obsessed with them or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the ninja crane style. You know what I'm talking about.
You're pulling teeth here.
You're
pushing a little hard there, brother.
Well, slob my knob never mind. So you got John.
Yep.
John's
we don't even know what John does.
We don't know what John does. For all intents and purposes, he was a ninja before any of this shit started. He certainly already had all the ninja shit. So anyway, John, he's in love, and he loves this girl, and she's got to tell him she's pregnant.
Yep.
And he's so excited because he's going to be a daddy. Then she's like, I'll see you tonight. And then she gets stabbed by a floppy knife. She gets murdered by a really floppy knife. And then he's like, no. And he does a big jump in the air and freeze frame. And he's like, no.
I must avenge you.
Right.
Not really, but.
So then he starts dressing as just a New York ninja, baby. He's dressed in a white series of sheets.
Series of sheets, yeah.
He's dressed in a white series of sheets, beating up street toughs. Side story, there's a plutonium murder man.
Yeah.
Played by Michael Berryman, whose skin melts when he comes or whatever. and he's running an underground sex trafficking ring.
Yep. So he can have ladies that I don't understand.
So he can have ladies. He's putting off some young Lawrence Fishburne vibes though. The guy that's the cop. We weren't talking about the cop. I'm talking about the cop now. What I should have said was,
wait a minute. What?
Also, the cop is putting off some.
Okay, thank you.
Some young Lawrence Fishburne vibes.
That really threw me for a good one there.
That's because it didn't make sense or have context.
So this film is kind of a mess.
What? How? Okay. Here, let's get down to brass tacks here. Let's get down to brass tacks. Let's get down to tacks that are composed of brass.
Okay.
Let's get down to brass tacks.
Mm-hmm.
And what I want to know, brass tacks, is what? Like what? Like what the fuck is this though? They'll just take a thing and they'll be like, oh, we need a scary bad guy. And then be like, what? I don't know, have his face melt. Why? Because we can do it. And then they're like, we'll figure it out later why his face melts.
Okay.
Everything is very disconnected here.
So discombobulated.
I wonder how much of this is a property of so much of the shit from this movie was destroyed that Vinegar Syndrome is just like, let's figure it out. Because I'm assuming they have very shitty video to work with, and that's it.
Yeah. Because
the whole thing is dubbed. All the original audio was lost.
Everything is dubbed. the original music score is lost. So I'm kind of at a I don't know, man. I'm really at a standstill with this because I had fun with it, but it seems kind of schlocky with how they did the audio, and they were like,
I think they just tried to do it of the era. Like, what was it probably? Well, let's look at a bunch of other ninja shit from 1984.
Yeah, I guess it just seems a little too
on the nose.
On the nose,
yeah.
like
okay.
But I enjoy it. I really crave what the original was like. You know what I mean?
Oh man,
because seeing it dubbed, it's just such a different thing.
I can tell you right now, a lot of that audio can't be right. Like a lot of the script that they're reading cannot be what those people are actually saying.
Well, there's no script.
Right.
So they're just watching it and going, wonder what they're saying there.
It's almost like bad lip reading.
And they're lip reading.
But they have to make it make sense also.
So this is something I saw in the trivia.
This is probably a fun creative project. I would have loved to work on something like this. This would have been a blast.
Contrary to early reports, a lip reader was not brought in to assist with the dubbing. So, in a lot of the scenes, I will say they did a pretty good job.
That doesn't mean that's not what they're doing. That just means they didn't have a professional.
They didn't have an expert. But I will say that
clearly,
in a lot of the scenes, they actually got quite a bit of it right.
I tell you this: there's a lot of laughter,
and
a lot of "don't move."
They say "don't move" probably 50 times in this.
And
someone's pointing a gun at a ninja. Don't move, and then he moves,
and then the ninja moves,
or they move,
and then one time he gets shot because
Yeah.
he's like, "Hey, don't move," and he starts doing flips, and he gets shot.
It just barely breaks the skin.
It just
though.
barely
It's
breaks
fine.
the skin. Yeah, it
But
was
he
like
digs the bullet
airsoft,
out.
the airsoft gun. Airsoft
He digs
bullets.
a bullet out of his chest, though. It's fine.
Okay. Let's before we say anything else about this, just start firing off weird shit. Ninja on roller skates, top of my list.
Ninja on roller skates was Ninja, on,
and then he wasn't, and
then he wasn't, and then
again.
he was again.
Yeah.
The Ninja on roller skates. Let's just not.
What was the
Why?
what was the ambition there? Were they like, this is going to be fucking badass? People are going to be like, a ninja on wheels? What the fuck?
That's what I feel like they were thinking. Like, what's more badass than just a ninja?
Roller skates. Obviously, have you ever been on them? They're insane.
Try to catch that ninja.
Right. Could you imagine getting kicked with roller skates, but he doesn't kick anybody with them?
No.
Because he would lose his balance because they're roller skates. Oh, God. Yeah, there's some fucking weird shit in here. Okay. Melt guy that's melting and coming a lot.
Yeah. What was his name again?
Oh, the Berryman.
No, like the character's name.
Plutonium Man.
Plutonium Killer.
Plutonium Killer, yeah.
What?
Yeah,
I just don't get it. Like
when you're watching the movie for an hour and 33 minutes or whatever.
Yeah,
like 50 minutes into the movie, they're like, he was an ex-military man and he was experimented on with radiation.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. He has one weakness, which is light.
Mirrored light.
So he has one weakness, which is
wasn't it a mirror
which is a light, but not just like sunlight, which even that would kind of like, I mean, you can loosely, because sunlight's radiation. When you get a sunburn, that's a radiation burn,
right?
So you could kind of be like, okay, maybe like the sun or whatever. No, just light, like a candle, a light bulb, whatever. But he's still got plutonium, and will open it up and melt his face and fucking cum a bunch of times. It doesn't.
It's just, that's why I was saying bizarre is the word for this
just
film.
the weirdest fucking thing. And I personally am here for it. The weirder it is, the more times I'm watching a movie and I go, okay. I'm sorry. What?
Excuse me?
The more I'm like, what? Hold on. What is this? Like, the more that I do that, the more I enjoy it. Because if you're watching a movie, like for these bad movies that we do, if you have that sort of response twice during the movie, the rest of it's probably just boring.
Yeah.
I was not bored with this. I was not bored with any of this.
There were parts of it that I thought were a little boring.
Like, can you give me an example of one that you were like, this is dumb? Well, all of it's dumb, but like more specifically, this is boring.
Just a lot of the in-between scenes where they're like, oh, we got to travel to the next thing that we're going to do that doesn't make sense.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
Just, there's a lot of filler in this, and I get it. The story is, whew, it's something. It doesn't make a lot of sense, any of it.
How do you feel about the actual ninja look itself?
It's not good.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just like
it's not good.
It's just a guy that tied some sheets into a.
I don't think they're really sheets. I think it's like a painting drop cloth or whatever, like a piece of canvas almost.
Huh.
I don't know what you would call it. It does not look good though. It does not read to me as ninja shit.
No, and by the way, he's a really bad ninja.
Oh, he's terrible. He's slow motion. He's doing so many crane poses.
Right. Like I think you commented at one point. You were like something about slow motion ninja, or what'd you say? Slow martial arts. Like,
yeah,
that's what it is. Throughout the entire film, it's just slow martial arts. It's like, this is not impressive at all.
No, none of it's impressive. He's got a lot of range of motion with his kicks. Like, and he's doing a lot of like, check out how good I am.
Some of the kicks are all right.
He's doing a lot of like, check out how good I am at this one thing.
Yeah.
But the rest of it, man, it's just, they're like, I'm sure he was out there like doing it and they're like, no, but like more theatrical. And he's like, well, that's not.
He's the director.
Oh, he's the director? Fuck, never mind. Fuck everything I just said.
So he was like, I'm the guy here.
Well. And
I know a little bit of martial arts.
Yeah.
So let's make a movie.
Paint my keister and call me Meester. He is the worst part of the movie. Is the actual ninja, but then it wouldn't be New York Ninja without him.
Right.
And I like his character when he's not the ninja, when he's just John.
Mm-hmm.
He's like kind of funny.
Is he though?
Because he's being so intense or whatever. Like when his wife dies or whatever, and he's having that meltdown on the rooftop. And then later he's like banging himself into those two poles. And then he just shouts and does a big jump in the air and it freeze frames.
Yeah.
I'm loving
What was that?
I don't know, but I'm loving that. Yeah, that's the 80s. You have Danny Tanner in the background laughing. Anytime you look. Oh, man. So that there's a underground sex trafficking ring, I guess. They're just kidnapping ladies.
They kidnap a bunch of ladies for the, what was his name again?
Plutonium killer.
I keep forgetting his name.
It's a bad name. Thing, yeah. Well, because we're like 40 minutes into the movie and they're just like, it's like Mystery Man because it's subtitled.
I think it said Plutonium Killer at one point in the subtitles.
It did. Yeah, like 50 minutes into the movie. We're like, what the fuck is this all about?
This is just
the stuff that's bad about this is that they just skipped steps.
Yeah.
But if they would have put them in, then it would be a better movie for 1984, ergo making it a worse bad movie. So the shit that they forgot to do, which is like introduce your characters, give them
connections. These characters need connections.
Yeah, connections. Flesh out anybody in this movie, any one person. I would go as far as to say that the most fleshed out character in this entire movie is the kid. The kid that he helps. Yeah, there's a kid. He helps him and he's getting bullied, and then the ninja shows up and the kid's like, "Fuck yeah, ninja!" And then ninja gets shot. And they're gonna shoot him again. And the kid dives in front of him and he also gets shot. And then New York Ninja. But he's okay though. He's okay though. Then New York Ninja takes the kid back to his house. Weird. Like oils him up and gets a bunch of incense. And then he's like, "Will you be my friend?" And he's like, "I will."
And he's almost like a father figure to him now.
Yeah, now he's his new dad. "Oh, I love you, Ninja Dad." And they're fishing and he's wearing that weird Speedo. There's so much weird shit in here.
The way he fishes, he has like 5 poles tied together.
Yeah.
And they're kind of sharp at the end. And he's just trying to stab fish.
Yeah.
But it's not working at all. This is just...
No, at some point, somebody goes to a fish market and they're like off screen. They stab a fish and then hand him the thing back. And he's like, "I got one."
But I don't think he ever got one.
He had one at the end because the kid gets one on the fishing pole. Because he's like, "What?" The kid is out there fishing on a rock. And then he looks over at New York Ninja and he's like, what are you doing? You know what he's doing. You know what he's doing. You've been out there with him the whole time.
Yeah.
He just sneak up behind you in a red Speedo. He may have. Get some weird vibes with that bit, especially when he's like, "Oh, dude, you gotta take this kid back to my house and oil him up."
That didn't happen.
And gently wipe blood away from his lips. It was fucking weird. That happened. That kid was oily as fuck, greasy as shit. Little grease ball.
I want to go back to the Speedo.
Grease me up and.
Have you ever seen someone wear a Speedo that? I mean, just the.
It was really loose.
It was like loose but tight in some areas at the same time.
Yeah. I think it was trying to tell you he's a small man with a big dick. Is kind of what they were going for. And it's like Alicia came in, she's like, is that okay?
Is
like,
this okay?
Is this, the kid's going to come in the room and, we got pizza or whatever. We usually do pizza when movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. And I was like, this thing's so fucking bloodless.
So far, this has been fine. It's PG-13 all the way.
My kid comes in to get a slice of pizza. And then it's just cuts to the next scene, and Plutonium Killer is just fucking some bitch with big old
huge titties.
Just big old huge titties, and they're just rocking, baby. And I was like, fuck.
You're like, oh, where's the remote?
And
Pause
that is
it.
literally the only 4 seconds of the entire movie that has anything remotely that bad in it.
I think there was
except for that dude just making his O face a bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's all in
Plutonium,
on it.
yeah. Man. This is just who wrote this? I want to see. Did the director write this as well?
God, I don't know.
So directed by John Liu, who played the ninja.
Okay.
Written by Arthur Schweitzer.
Okay, I bet and
John Liu.
I bet they both wrote this in an evening over a couple of 8 balls of cocaine.
That he was also throwing out at other...
Yeah.
What was that?
So a bit of lore, if you will.
Okay.
Ninjas would do this thing where they would take an egg and they would poke a hole in it with a needle and they would scramble all the contents of the egg, and using that needle, they would slowly pull out all the... So essentially what you'll have here is an egg shell with nothing in it.
Oh, okay.
Then they would take glass and smash it down into powder and then fill this egg with that. So that's where you get the caveat of ninjas vanish, because they would take that egg, smash it in their hand, and throw it in your face. So you would have just glass dust in your eyes.
Sounds terrible.
Right? Doesn't it sound terrible? In this, though,
Coke.
It's just cocaine. Or maybe chalk from the local pool hall.
Right, I think that's what it is.
Yeah, it's probably that.
In one of the scenes where he does that, he has 2 of the eggs.
And he doesn't throw them at anybody?
No, he does. But I think this is a mistake. One of the guy gets the powder in his face.
Yeah.
One doesn't. Even though he has 2 eggs, and he goes to...
There's another scene where he's holding the egg and all the bad guys run away, and then he's just still holding it.
Yeah.
He just doesn't use it at all.
He doesn't do anything with it.
There's a bit where I'm pretty confident he is about to fight a Buick LeSabre. He's just going to fight a car. He's the car's pulling up and he's doing flips and shit, and then the car pulls away a little bit and he does more flips, and then the car drives off. And I'm like, you were just going to fight that car. Don't lie.
What'd you think about Plutonium Killer's driver?
Oh, dude. Okay, so this whole movie, I'm going to rate this pretty high. I had a fucking blast with this. But I gotta say, without the Plutonium Killer and his driver, Rat Tail,
yep.
Which, by the way,
Elijah Wood.
When you were like Elijah Wood, and I was like, oh my God, it's I don't feel at home in this world anymore.
Yeah.
It's just Elijah Wood with his rat tail. Just if he had a goatee in that movie, dead ringer.
Yep.
Dead ringer with a goatee. He just needs a wolf cane to rub his face with. Those 2 fucking weirdos, those 2 Bond villains make this movie. Yeah, it's just fucking Goldfinger and Lockjaw, or what, Diamond Teeth or whatever. They're just dumb novelty villains. They make this film fun.
Right.
And God, dude, the Plutonium Killer is he's fucking cracking me up. But the rat tail guy, there's that bit where he just grabs his rat tail and puts it in his mouth.
He does that a lot. Yeah.
He does it like twice where he puts it in his mouth. And then they're getting ready. They're having a sword fight. All right. The rat tail and the New York Ninja, they're having a sword fight. He's got two swords. New York Ninja smashes one of his swords in half and disarms one of his swords. And then he takes off his gloves and his coat. And then he starts like flailing around, like just falling all over himself. And then somebody had the wisdom to dub in, drunken sword style, bring it on. Because if that one piece of dialogue was omitted from this movie, everybody would be like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, what the shit is that supposed to be? Oh man. And that, I say that from a place of a guy who has seen and loves Drunken Master. Mm-hmm. I love that movie. It's one of the best like kung fu movies that's out there, in my opinion. I plan to visit it on the podcast someday, but it is just very like, where the fuck is this coming from?
Yeah, man. A lot of this is.
Oh my God, the plutonium killer. He's got that little blow dart pen. It's like a click pen that shoots deadly darts, and he's showing it off at the beginning of the movie, and he kills a fly with it.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That's how the movie The Fly starts.
Nicely done. Yeah. Click, click. Pew. Got some fun sound effects in this. Okay, that's about all I've got to say about it, though, if I'm being totally honest.
Real quick, what'd you think about the backwards jump that the New York Ninja did?
Oh, it's just the pillars. It's just a forward jump, but in reverse. I'll be honest with you, because I knew that was the trick, in air quotes. It looked pretty good.
It looked all right,
but I knew that's just what's happening. But as far as like things in movies that are done like that, they're like, oh, just take the foot and like reverse it. You know what I mean? Run it backwards. Of the things that I have seen that just do that, that looked pretty good. But still also like laughably like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, like who jumps like that? Like,
I like the way you've got a New York Ninja fighting crime, broad daylight, middle of a weekday, every time. It's like Wednesday, 2 p.m.
Yeah. And there's no one around.
No.
Through most of this film.
It's
like
New York.
It's New York City. Some of the scenes do have quite a bit of people walking on the streets, but then there are others where you're like...
Yeah, if by people you mean gangbangers.
Right. All the gangbangers in this just...
Wow.
What's up with the masks that most of them are wearing? It's like they painted another person's face on these actors.
Yeah, this is like dollar store Foot Clan from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You know what I mean? Even though that came much later after this. This is just a bizarre combination of things. And then in the post credits, there's just like, you got those guys and they're breakdancing, and then there's just a Ronald McDonald clown. There's just a Ronald McDonald clown in this movie.
What do you think?
But it's wearing an I Love New York Ninja t-shirt instead of like I Heart NY.
Yeah.
And then just also Ninja at the bottom.
Yeah, a lot of people are, the kids, the young children in this are throwing out those t-shirts.
And you know what? I heard that the New York Ninja will return in LA Ninja. So far,
haven't seen it.
Seems like a big fat lie.
I looked it up.
How many... God, what kind of thumbs do you even give a thing like this? Ninja star thumbs? Ninja egg
What are those
egg
called?
powder?
What are the star? Those are called
throwing stars? Shuriken.
Shuriken, yeah, that's what they're
Shuriken.
Shuriken. Shuriken or Shuriken? Shuriken.
I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna run. I know it's not a kunai.
All right.
How you been?
So how many ninja, if you had 10 ninja stars as fingers,
are we talking like actual legitimate ninja stars, or are we talking like the stuff you buy at the county fair?
Actual legitimate ninja stars.
Okay, so county fair, gotcha.
You got it.
The stuff you buy, the shit you buy at the knife booth at the county fair.
Yep, you got it.
Then your mom takes it away because she's like, "You're just gonna get in trouble with these."
If you had 10 of those, and each one's kind of hitting the other one, you're like, "Oh, this is really awkward."
Yeah.
How many of those ninja star thumbs would you give this film?
Man,
New York Ninja.
I am. Oh, because we just did Miami Connection.
Yeah.
And I think I gave that a 9.5. And I've got to say, this is more fun than the Miami Connection.
I don't know if I'd agree on that.
Have you seen Miami Connection?
Yeah, we watched it together, and then you were like, "We'll do this on the show someday," and then you didn't. You did it with somebody else.
That's true. Those are all true facts.
So let's just move past it.
I'm willing to start over. Okay. Welcome back to another episode of It's Just Two Movies.
We're doing Miami Connection.
Yeah.
I fucking love Miami Connection. We watched it together one time. That's what
long time ago.
Yeah. So maybe I'm just not remembering. Like compared to
there's more dragging
in Miami.
Like, there's
in
way
Miami
more
Connection.
dragging, just like a lot of exposition and like just lazy conversations that they're like, no, let's have them pal around a bit, but they're not pals. So they're just like, hey man, what are you doing?
Yeah,
I'm getting back from the thing I was at.
Yeah, now I remember. There's a lot of that.
There's a bit of that, but I gotta say, man, if I was gonna recommend somebody a bad movie, I think this is gonna be near the top of my list. And
So you're gonna go 10?
I think I'm gonna give it 10.
Or
I think this is my first 10 for a bad movie. If I had to put them in order, I would say New York Ninja, Torque, which I don't recall what I rated it, Miami Connection, and then maybe The Brain.
What about what was the Chopping Mall?
Oh fuck, never mind. Move The Brain down one,
Chopping Mall was
and
pretty
then The
fun.
Brain. Yeah,
I don't remember what. I feel like our rating system was a little different back then.
We're gonna do so many creature features this Halloween. Stay tuned, by the way. We're gonna do all that great shit.
Yep.
What about you? How many Ninja Star Shuriken thumbs?
Man, I'm gonna go
4.
4. No, I'm gonna go 8.5 on this.
8.5,
Which is pretty high for me.
That is pretty high for you.
I'm pretty picky. But the only thing that really stands in my way, because I had a lot of fun with this, I really did. It's goofy.
God,
it's bizarre,
so dude.
It's just a strange movie.
If you want to watch something that you can make fun of, well,
this is your day, buddy.
Your cup runneth over.
Right. I just want to see the original because I had some fun with the dubbed, but it almost gets in the way of
the unfortunate part about that is this is the original.
Yeah.
This is all of it that exists.
Right. And I understand that. But some of the dubbing for me, it almost gets in the way of what could have been, I guess.
Yes.
And that's what it's hard for me to get past that.
Yeah. Some of it,
because they're guessing. They're guessing on a lot of this stuff.
Oh yeah.
When there are two people with their backs turned to the camera and they're chasing each other or whatever, they're just throwing in dialogue that they could think, okay, what could fit here?
God, when this movie opens up, like the very first thing that like they're zooming in that camera and I'm like, oh man,
wow,
look who can't remember how to zoom a camera.
Yeah.
And it settles on that lady and she opens her mouth and you're like, oh boy, here we go. Yeah. This is gonna be a hoot.
Here we go. They did the best they could.
That's the end of that. Like next segment of the show.
Hey, what you watching?
Dun, 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 dun.
Bird, what you watching?
What you watching?
What you watching?
All right, so I finished Spiritfarer, which is a video game.
I know that. We were talking about it. You've texted me about it multiple times. Still haven't bought it. I'm like, sounds great, man. I cherish our friendship and I appreciate your recommendations and I will take it seriously, but I will never fucking play that game.
Yeah, I know.
I will at some point.
Yeah, you probably won't.
Well, tell me how Spiritfarer was first. How many?
If I had 10 thumbs. If I had 10 fingers.
10 fingers.
That were spirits.
Ooh, how many spirit fingers?
I'd give it a 9.5.
9.5 for Spiritfarer. Okay.
Only thing that I can knock on this game is it gets a little grindy. But it's a management style game. So that's
management style games are grindy.
They're grindy.
Yeah. I don't mind that. With the management style, I find it to be incredibly relaxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I find it very just... I like having a task and going, oh, I need to focus on that. well, shit, I also need to do this.
Oh, whoops. Ooh, almost forgot about this one over here.
Almost forgot about my plants. Gotta go water those.
Can't forget about watering my plants.
I had a ton of fun with this game. The story is where it's at. It's sad, but it's a really good...
Heartfelt.
It's heartfelt. It's a really good story. I started season 3 of Barry.
Oh,
fantastic.
Good.
Yeah, it's a really good TV show.
I watched a HBO series from start to finish this week.
Yeah?
It is called The Baby.
The Baby.
It's like a British horror comedy. So it's this girl. So there's a baby, and it's like it's like the devil. This baby, it's immortal, and it finds women that don't want a baby, and then it makes them like look after it. And then once it's done with them, it like drives them to insanity to kill themselves. And this baby finds its way to this lady, and she's like, what it's for, it's a metaphor for somebody who like got pregnant and had a baby and didn't want a baby, but now they have a baby, so they're like coping with what is my life now? How come I can't hang out with my friends? All this shit. But it also has this great fun horror element. And there's a romantic interest with another customer and her backstory and whatever. It was pretty good. I mean, it didn't blow my doors off or anything, but it's relatively short, which is part of what drew me to it. I liked the pilot, and I will say there were 2 episodes in the middle of it that personally I felt were a little on the slow side. Would they have been a little more snappy? This probably would have got picked up for a season 2. Overall, pretty fun watch. I'd probably give it like, I don't know, 7.
Yeah.
It was just all right.
Well, maybe they only meant it as a one-off, because that happens a lot.
Yeah, it definitely could have just been that.
Because I was going to say...
either way, pretty fun.
Have you watched, it's another HBO Max original or HBO original, The Night Of?
The Night Of.
It has Riz Ahmed and John Turturro.
No.
It's fantastic. If you haven't seen it...
Man, I really like Riz Ahmed and John Turturro.
It's fantastic. I would highly recommend it.
It's, okay.
8 episodes, just a one-off.
Is it an alien thing? Is there aliens? No, okay, I'm thinking of a
sir.
movie that like turned out to be pretty mediocre. I didn't watch it, but that's why I didn't watch it, because I was like, ooh, this Riz Ahmed thing with aliens, and everybody's like, it's bad.
Oh, he's in an alien thing?
He's in an alien thing. Yeah, I think so.
Bummer.
Maybe it's a zombie thing. I don't know. He's in a sci-fi thing. It turns out it's not good. It's not that he's not good. It's just the movie's not good.
Gotcha. Yeah, check out The Night Of. What else have I been up to? Reading a book called, it's 3 books. It's the New York Trilogy is the name of it.
The first one called The Ninja.
The New York Ninja.
The New York Ninja.
Yeah.
The second one's called The Mystery of the Plutonium Killer. Oh my God, it's all connected.
What's the third one called?
The third one's called Roller Skates. Question mark.
Yeah. Roller skates?
I love that he's just in roller skates for like one fucking scene.
That's it.
God, it's so weird. Then never again. Like, what, did he bring him from home? Did he find him in the dumpster?
Did he throw him away after he was... Like...
What did he do with him afterward? Did he pawn him? Like, did he bust into a roller rink and straight up steal him?
All these questions and more are answered on the next episode of It's Just 2 Movies.
Yeah, that's right. I actually do have one more what you watching thing.
All right, what you got?
How's your book, the New York Trilogy or whatever? How's that?
Oh, it's good. It's the author
is it by Philip K. Dick?
No, the author is Paul Auster or Auster. I'm not sure how to say his name. It's very good. It's kind of like a private investigator. Like each story is about a private investigator. But it doesn't really involve murder. Like the first one, the private investigator is actually an author. Someone calls him on mistake. They're looking for someone else, and he's like, I'll just take on the case. And kind of plays a private investigator. It's very interesting. I don't know.
That is interesting. Well, I got J-Bone, guest of the podcast here, old Justin, was kind enough to lend me an extra Xbox. I don't know who's fucking balling enough to just have an extra Xbox, but I've been long debating for a long time whether or not I should buy one, because really, for the longest time I was like, I'm really only interested in playing Halo.
Yeah.
That's the only game that I have any interest in playing. But I don't know if it will run with my internet connection smoothly enough for me to actually enjoy it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Turns out it will. And because you had to get Game Pass or whatever to play Halo. So I signed up for it, and it was $1 for the first month with 2 additional months free. So I got 3 months of Game Pass for $1. There is a fuckload of games on Game Pass.
Game Pass is I don't have an Xbox. I'm a PlayStation guy.
Right.
But Game Pass is awesome from what I hear.
Yeah, it's got like I think I want to say just under 500 games on it, and
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
like good games.
And PlayStation's like, how do we fucking keep up with that? Like,
Here's an indie game that's 6 years old for free.
yeah, their PlayStation.
By the
Plus
way,
games,
it kind of sucks though.
their PlayStation Plus games are mostly trash. Like, and that's
Yeah.
from a Sony fanboy. And now they're trying to. They have tiers of PlayStation Plus, which is fucking stupid.
This just happened. Yeah.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's not a very good model.
Hopefully they fix it.
Hopefully they fix it. I don't know. We'll see. I just love the games that PlayStation puts out.
Their exclusives are top
just
shelf.
where it's at.
So my kid and I played Halo. I think the new one's called Infinite. Played Halo Infinite. One night
Did you say Halo Infant?
Halo Infant. Yes, you're just a baby, Master Chief.
Baby Master Chief.
Yeah. Have you seen the Muppet Babies, the TV show? It's kind of like that,
but with guns,
with a battle rifle, yeah, and sticky grenades.
God, that's awesome, dude.
Good
awesome.
pickup. So we were playing Halo Infant, and she's like, "How do you run?" I'm like, "You gotta walk before you can run.
You gotta walk, baby,
because you're a baby."
Baby,
that's the joke, baby. So we played this game. I get home about 5:30. I probably got it fired up around 6 or 6:15, and we played until 1 o'clock in the morning.
Nice,
just taking turns.
That's
man,
awesome.
I haven't played Halo in like 10 fucking years. No shit.
Are you top in the country yet?
No. No. It turns out they have.
Close.
It turns out they have drastically changed the controls. So I spend half of the game like I finally will.
Like,
I'll get the drop on somebody, and I'll go to do the beat down where you like beat them down from the back and do the instant kill, and instead I'll crouch, and then they'll turn around and fucking shoot me in the head. Yeah, so I'm just they moved some controls around on me a little bit, so I'm still getting used to it or whatever, having fun with it. And then yesterday, Justin was telling me, he's like, dude, there's a Ninja Turtle game on there. You gotta fucking play it. You just got to, bro. You got to.
Is it one of the old school?
And I was like, okay, man, I'll check it out. So here's what it is. It's called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. And it is a side-scrolling beat 'em up in the style of the old arcade game.
Yeah.
However, it is a brand new game.
Oh, okay.
It is well polished. There are more extra playable characters now. Like you can play. I'm playing as April O'Neil, and she's fucking badass. But you can play as all the turtles, April and Splinter, and then once you beat the game on story mode, you can play as Casey Jones. Dude, so fun. I went through like 15 levels, and the boss fights are a fucking blast. All the characters, I'm like, holy shit, man. Wow, it's fucking so. There's a fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle bad guy I haven't thought about in fucking 30 years, if I was that old. But
still trying to keep that.
It's got the smoothness and playability and like pixel rate of something that's like fresh and crisp and fun. Like just the combat style is so much fun.
Nice.
And it's just a classic side-scrolling beat 'em up. Like it's nostalgic and it's new at the same time. And I really can't praise it enough. Like I'm gonna beat that fucking game.
Yeah.
And it's multiplayer. I wish I knew somebody who wanted to play with me. I tried to get Alicia to play with me all night, and she's just like, "No, Mom, she was doing a thing." So
can you play single player?
Yeah. I played like 15 levels of it on single player, but
nice.
It's definitely a party play game. You know what I'm saying? So it would be way more fun.
Have you heard about this game called Stray?
Stray.
Or have I told you about it?
I don't think so. No.
You play as a cat.
Okay, that tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it looks awesome. It's like a futuristic Earth, and you're a cat.
Okay.
Doing cat stuff.
Doing cat stuff? Like licking your pussy?
You guys aren't gonna start sucking each other's dicks, are you?
Let's call that phone talk for a one-eyed Batman.
Can I make a suggestion that doesn't involve violence? Or is this the wrong crowd?
Maybe we should call in a bomb threat to Houston. I think it's free beer night at the Astrodome. The Jedi, Bob, we don't fight with guns, we fight with our mind.
Cousin, businesses are booming.
That is one big pile of shit.
Jog on.
It's Just Two Movies is a production of Blue Cheese and Bacon Studios and can be found wherever you get your podcasts.
I just wanted to throw out a couple of special thanks for the folks that make this show possible. Big thanks to Brad Sexton for our jams, Lamplighter Production for our artwork, Godsized Growing for some musical guest appearances, and Dave, who's our YouTube editor. We probably wouldn't even be on that platform were it not for him. If you want to check out anything any of these amazing people are working on, all of their links are in the description for this episode. If you want to contact the show, you can hit us up on Twitter or Instagram at It's Just Two Movies. We've got a Facebook page now, so that's on there. You can always leave us a comment on YouTube, or you can email us at itsjusttwomovies@gmail.com. Okay, yeah, and if you like the show, like, subscribe, leave us a review. That stuff helps tremendously. Man, I have that fucking John Legend song stuck in my head.
If you believe, they put a man on the moon.
Man on the moon. Okay, you helped.
I got a piece.
Okay, so I know you got a piece so bad. What's up with the cat game? Tell me. I'll put this at the end.
No, that's perfect.
Oh, okay.
That's perfect.
Okay then.
Yeah.
All right. Then
that's how I want.